Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Take Data Engineer. So in this video we will see PySpark frequently asked questions. So I have kept 10 questions, okay, and in that we have touched all the topic which is mostly asked in interview. So some questions they asked related to actions, transformation, explode functions, pivot functions, and JSONs. Okay, how we are working with the JSON data and all. So based on that, I have created the 10 questions. Okay, which is most of the time it is getting asked in the interview. Okay, so let's start with the first questions. Okay, so first question is load a CSV file into data frame and then count the number of rows and column in the data frame. Okay, so we'll start from basic to advanced level. So in these questions what they basically want like you have a CSV file. So first read the CSV file. So we have a spark.read options. So only here I am writing the code snippet, not the entire code, like a Spark session, creation of a Spark session and all. So here we have created a data frame called df_csv. So we will write a method called spark.read options. So here we are passing header equals to true, so that first line would be the header, and dot csv. So under csv we will pass the csv file path. Okay, path to csv file, or directly you can path your you can give you the file path name. Okay, so this is basically, this will what it will do, it will read your csv file. Then other ask was that we have to count the number of rows and column. So number of rows is basically how many rows are there. So you can do simple print, and you can do row equals row column df underscore csv dot count. So count method will give number of rows, but instead of column you have to do df dot columns, and then you have to pass under the alien function. So length function, what it will do, if suppose we have 5 columns, so it will give as a column as a 5. Okay, so for counting of row we have to do df dot count, and for counting of column we have to df dot columns, and then you have to pass under the alien function. Okay, so this way you can read the csv file, and you can give the count of row and column. So this was the first question. Coming to second questions. So I have created the list of questions which I encountered in most of the interview, or or if you'll practice this question, so definitely at least not this question, then you'll cover the topic which they asked in the interview. Okay, so second question is how would you handle the missing or null value in the data frame. Okay, so you have to provide the example. So every time it will not ask only the theoretical questions, sometimes you have to provide the code snippet also. So for missing data or null value, either what we can do, either we can drop that value, or we can assign with a certain value. Okay, or assign with a median value, some, or I can say their mean value. So anything we can do. So simple approach is we can directly df dot drop na, and drop na and dot show. So whatever the value we have null, we are dropping that. Okay, or fill null value with a default value. So anything like 0, suppose salary is a column and we wanted to write a default value as a 0 if there is no salary. So df dot fill na, here it is drop na for dropping the value, for fill na for assigning some by default value. So df dot fill na salary equals to 0 dot show. I can do that. So these are very simple questions, but yeah, still they used to ask sometimes. Then the questions they ask related to the data frame join operations. Okay, so join two data frame based on a common column called department id and perform an inner join. So here they have specified the inner join. So suppose data frame 1 is spark create data frame 1 John HR, 2 Jan finance. Okay, so and their schema is department id is the 1 2, name is John Jane, and department is HR and finance. Okay, there is a second data frame called same 1 HR, 2 finance, and so their schema is department id and department name. So we have to perform join based on the department id. So in this column also we have department, So if department has the department id and other also have the department equals to department id. So what we will do, we will do def dot join df2 comma, where we wanted to perform the join. So join, inner join will always perform with a matching column in two data frame. So df1 dot department id equals to df2 dot department id, and here we will pass either how equals to inner, or directly we can pass on a comma, inverted comma, inner dot show. So it will basically do the joining operation. So they wanted to know the syntax, so they can ask certain question related to that. So you can perform in, instead of inner you can outer, or left outer, or right outer, you can perform any operations based on that. Okay, now coming to fourth questions. Yeah, so they ask perform a map operation on RDD to convert all string element to lowercase. So they have given a list of RDD, and under that they wanted to convert all string element to lowercase. So you can solve this by using normal Python function, or you can create a simple UDF for that, user defined function, or you can create the based on the action and transformation method we have. So basically they have asked like perform a map operation on RDD to convert. So you have to they have specified that you have to create by using the map. So most of the time map, flat map, what is filter, collect, they used to ask the questions in case of actions and transformations. So you have to write the code snippet. So I have one RDD, we have created a spark context dot parallelize. So what it will do, it will create a RDD like John, Jane, Sam and Sarah. So then we will create a lowercase RDD. So what it will do, I have created a RDD dot, so this is RDD where we have created this one, and so RDD dot map function, and I have created a lambda function, lambda x. What it will do, it will take each element like John, Jane, Sam and Sarah, and what it will do, x dot lower, and then we are doing collect method. So collect, what it will do, it will collect to a single list. Okay, so whatever the name we have, John, Jane, same Sam and Sarah, so it will convert to the lowercase. So there might be multiple approach, but if they wanted to specify, they wanted to know your map concept or flat map concept, they will specify, you have to solve in that approach. Okay, so coming to fifth questions. So in previous questions we have seen how we can apply the map operation. So map is a transformations. Okay, similar to that we have flat map also, that is also a transformation. So difference between map and flat map is that, so we, for map we are giving a single element. Okay, so basically it will not flat the final resultant. Okay, in case of flat map it will flatten the final resultant. So flattened means, suppose there is a hello world, hello spark, hello pyspark. So if you'll do mapping just, so it will give as a list of hello world, hello spark and hello pyspark. But if you do the flattening, so it will give each element like hello world, hello again, hello spark, hello pyspark, it will give as a single list. So that is different between flat map and map. Okay, so coming to the flat map, use the flatman operation to split a list of sentence into a word and count the occurrence of each word. So what they basically wanted to understand, so they have given a list of sentence. So from that sentence you have to split the word first, and other is you have to count the occurrence of each words. Like hello is coming 2 3 times, so we have to give that word count also. So what it will do, we will do first, we will do the words RDD. So words RDD, what I'll do, RDD dot flat map lambda x such that x dot split. So we are splitting based on the space. So if there is a space, we will split. Like, so then how many element will come? Hello world, hello spark and hello pyspark. There would be 6 word in a particular RDD. Okay, then how we will do, word count equals to word RDD dot count by value. So for each value, like the hello is a value, so for hello how many counts are there, it will print that. Okay, so this way we can solve the questions by use of flat map operations. Now coming to the next questions, create a data frame with column containing an array of numbers and use the explode functions to flatten the array into individual row. So this is in these questions they have explicitly mentioned that you have to use the explode function. So instead of that, what they will do, they will give a data frame like John and there is a list of element as a number, and they wanted to convert as a output in this format. Okay, name and number, and this number. So instead of a list of number, they wanted to specify for each number, like John is a name, so for each name the number should be single valued mapping. So John 1, John 2, John 3. Here how it is John 1 2 3, but we had to specify John 1, John 2, and then John 3, something like that. So either way they can ask the question. So in both the way you have to apply the explode function. So just you have to understand that. So I have already specified create a data frame with a column containing an array of numbers. So here there is a array of number. So the schema is like name and numbers, but number is the array of numbers. So you have to, for that array of number, you have to flatten that numbers. Okay, so for that we will use the explode function. So in these questions, basically I have used the pyspark, spark session, then and functions, and then import explode. So under the SQL functions we have explode. This is simple. We have created this spark session, and again this is the data. So data is like name, we have John, Jane, and Sam, and number is like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9. So this is the list of numbers. So what we will do, based on that we will create a data frame. So spark dot create data frame, data and columns. So our ask is to, we have to convert the list of number as an individual number in mapping, right? So what it will we will do, we will create again a data frame called df underscore explode equals to df dot with column. I have created a column called number again, and I have explored the df dot number. So whatever the number column we have, be, so these are the numbers column. So there is a difference, this is number, this is numbers. Okay, so whatever the numbers column we have, we will explode that, and we will assign to a number column, and then we will do df explode dot show. So what we will do, we will, so in the existing data frame name numbers, we have added a column called number. Here we have added a number called column number, and under that we have exploded the numbers. So what it will do, it will basically a list of element got exploded to individual number, like John 1, John 2, John 3, something like that. Okay, yeah. Coming to the next question, problem 7. So here I have covered the map, flat map, normal, individual, how we are reading the data frame, how we are counting the rows, column. Okay, so coming to the next problem, you have a RDD of words. Write a PySpark code to calculate the total length of all the words in the RDD. So we have a list of word. We have to calculate the total length of all words, right? So suppose, so we have PySpark, we have already imported that. So we have apple, banana, and cherry. So for apple, what is the length? AWLE, it's a 5. So we will give 5. So we will do word length equals to rdd dot map. So every time we are using the map or flat map. So if the flatten not required to the resultant, we will use the map function normal. Map is for mapping. So rdd dot map lambda word equals to alien of word. So what it will do, I have created a lane, and under that we will pass the each word. So it will do the number of words. Okay, but the question is write a PySpark code to calculate the total length of all the word in the RDD. So here we are getting the individual word, like apple is 5, banana is 6, and cherry is again 6. So we have to give the total count 6 6 12 5 17. So then again we have to create a again a reduce function, which is basically used to calculate the length of all the words. So we will give like total length equals to word length. Here is the resultant of all word dot reduce. We will create a lambda function x comma y such that x plus y. So whatever the length we will give, it will create as a adding of the existing number. Suppose it will come as a 5 x y equals to 0. Then again banana have y, so it will be 6, and again 6 will add to that. So it will give the total length as 16. Okay, so 3 3 6 and 6 6 12 and 5, it should be 17, not 16. Okay, then coming to the next question, problem 8. You are given a RDD of words. Write a PySpark code to create a RDD of word count. So here we have to count how many times each word appear. Okay. So again there is a Spark session, and we have initialization. We have the Spark context. We have already the RDD apple banana, apple cherry, banana banana. Okay. Then we what it will do, RDD dot map lambda word count 1 reduced by key lambda x y such that x plus y. So what it will do, it will basically the create the count of the word. Okay, so for each word we are assigning a 1. If there is a word coming two times, we are assigning 1 plus 1 equals to 2 by using this reduce by function. Okay, so suppose apple is coming two times, so for one apple there is a 1, for other apple there is a 1, so there would be the 2. Okay, so if will come as a reduce by key function, so lambda x plus x comma y such that x plus y, so it will do 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So for each number the count would be 2. Okay, now coming to the ninth questions. You have a sales data where each row contain the year, the product and the sales amount. Okay, this question is basically based on the pivot function. So pivot function is used for transposing the data frame. Okay, so they are giving a sales data where each row contains the year, product and the sales amount. So there are three schema. One is the year, other would be the product, and other is the sales amount. So you want to pivot the data, so see the sales for each product by year. So yeah, so sometimes they want like explicitly they wanted to understand you are able to write the code or not. So you have to explicitly write the PySpark SQL import a Spark session. Then what are the function required, like call required, call function. So we have created a Spark SQL dot function import call. Then we have initialized the Spark session. So the data frame is like year 2020 apple, and 10 is the sales amount. So for each year we have the product, and the product have the sale amount. Okay, so we'll create the data frame. Spark dot create data frame data, and we have the schema like year, product and sales. So either we can create a simple like a schema equals to year, product, sales, and here pass we will schema, or some directly we can pass the schema. Okay, so pivot df, how we have to do, we have to you want to pivot the data to see the sales for each product by year. Okay, so each year, so what I will do, we will do the grouping by year, and each product, so we wanted to pivot the product, you wanted to pivot the data to see the sales for each product by year. Okay, so by year means you have to do the grouping by year, and each product, so you have to do the pivot of product. So what I'll do, df dot group by year and pivot of product, and then sum of sales. Okay, so suppose we have 2022, 2021, 2022. So we will do the grouping of year like 2020, 21, 22. Okay, now coming to the product. So product is apple banana, apple banana, there are two product only. So product, it will come as a pivot. We are doing the pivot means this column will come as a row. Okay, so whatever the column we have like apple banana, this will come as a row. So this is the user product pivot function. Okay, apple banana. And then for individual, suppose 2020 year, if you'll see the apple have total sales as a 100, so we will assign the 100. This is like a transpose matrix. So this way we can solve the problem. So whatever it will do, so you have to so in this question you have to understand the keyword, like you have to do the grouping by product, grouping by year, so you will do the group by year, and for each product they wanted, so you have to do the pivot. Under pivot you can pass the product, and then you have to do the group by year. Okay, so this way we can solve. So in the listed 10 questions, we have covered the topic called pivot, which most of the time they used to ask. Then explode, most of the time they used to ask. Then RDD creations like map, flat map, how we are counting the word, how we are reduce function, collect functions, map, flat map. Then how we will work on the flatten area. Okay, then with the help of RDD, how we are creating lowercase, uppercase, counting of each number, how we perform the join operation, how to handle the missing and null value, data frame and all. So if this type of questions we will practice, most of the time they used to ask such types of questions. Okay, thank you, thanks for watching.